What is going on? It's your boy Randy with On Edge, and in this video, I am going to walk you guys through my Lumix S5iiX camera rig. That's a mouthful. Let's get it. All right, so this is everything from my camera rig. Everything will be linked in the description below. But I want to start off with the cage. I am using a tilt-to-half cage, and these are some NATO rails. I forgot what brand it was. They're not small rig, but these are some NATO rails. I got a pack of them. They were pretty inexpensive, that's why I went with those, but they've been holding up very well, no issues there. But I have one for the side and one for the top. I went with the half cage because I don't really care for a full cage on this camera. I wanted to keep the form factor pretty small, and when I'm just using it like this, I wanted to keep it as small as possible versus having a whole cage. So yeah, that's why I gotta have cage. So let's build this rig out. So the first thing I like to do is put a base plate on. So now this base plate, now I have a tilted base plate for my tilted cage on my Blackmagic, and I thought this fit, so I didn't order the cage with the base plate. But for some reason, I cannot find the base plate separate. I don't know, maybe it's out now, but I looked everywhere and I couldn't find it. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. But I looked everywhere for this base plate so I could put my rails on this camera. But, oh, and the cool thing about this camera, I mean this rig, this tilted rig, is come with this little thing. My Blackmagic one didn't come with one of these, but it comes with this little screw plate thing. That's pretty cool. It's a magnet, just sits there. But yeah, so this is the plate. So this is the small rig plate. I have two of these, one for my Blackmagic, one for this, just in case I have to rig them both at the same time. And these are small rig rails, I think. I can't remember which rail these are. I've had these for a while. A bunch of the stuff is just coming from because I had two Blackmagic cameras, so a lot of the stuff is coming from my other Blackmagic camera that I don't have anymore. So I'm just recycling a lot of things. So let's get this base plate on. All right, so got this base plate here. Now this is the ZG Cine V50. This is more than enough for this camera. It'll last for a pretty long time. But I do have the V99 that I use for my Blackmagic. That's what I'm using now for the Blackmagic. And I use that. If I'm not using my Blackmagic, then I would use the V99 for this, and this will last all day long. Now you can stop right here if you want, but now this configuration right here is where I mainly stop at mostly. So let's go ahead and put this side handle on. This right here is more than enough. Honestly, a lot of times I will stop right here because this is perfect. This is more than enough as a handheld rig for me. I don't really need a monitor because this is perfectly fine, this little monitor right here. But sometimes I do use my monitor if I can find it. But if you want, you can go ahead and add the top handle, put that on there. So this side handle is small rig, this top handle is small rig. Again, it's coming from my other rig. But yeah, you can, whatever. But if you want to throw a monitor, sometimes I would throw a monitor on top of the camera, if I'm trying to look the part or whatever. But, that's pretty high up. But, I mean, that's cool. It works. But a lot of times what I do is I would put the handle on backwards. And then I'll have the monitor up right here. That way it's not as high. But that looks pretty good. So now it is a little off balance, but when I have a heavier battery, it counterweights all that, so it works out fine. Now let's throw on my matte box. I'm gonna be honest. Only reason why I use a matte box on a lot of my gigs is because you look high budget or whatever. And clients, granted, it has its uses. Matte boxes has its uses, but I always end up throwing it on depending on the job, so I can quote unquote look the part. And there you have it. That is my little rig setup right here from my Lumix S5 II, and boom, looks pretty dope. But yeah, this is a nice little cool rig, I guess, and you know, can run like this all day, and it's not as heavy, so I won't get that much fatigue if I'm running my rig. But yeah, I'm not gonna really run the cables for this because y'all can use a point HDMI, run it through here, HDMI, and then I come. So the cool thing about these batteries and why I like them a lot is because they have USB Type-C. So I go Type-C to Type-C into this camera versus using dummy batteries. I just go Type-C to Type-C and I power the camera that way. And they can charge with Type-C also. And they do have D-Tap too if you want to use D-Tap. But the V99 has Type-C in two places, Type-C and Type-C. So it has two Type-C ports, and then the ZGCine V160 has two D-Taps. So yeah, these are great batteries. I love these batteries. ZGCine, if you're watching this, I love your products. Let's talk. But yeah, that's pretty much it. This is my rig. But this is if I'm like all day production. I need, you know, whatever. But yeah, it's pretty solid. I like it. It works for me. Everybody rig is different. But yeah, so if this video was helpful in any way, if you enjoyed it, then smash that like button, subscribe button, check out other content. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.